Well, that's an interesting story. I like to jokingly say that, well, first of all, I've always been intrigued by legends and myths.
Yeah.
And I've always taken the time to sit back and analyze what would this be if it was different? Why does it have to go this way? I'm
Yeah.
just that type of a person. But
Mhm.
so when in my time when my kids were growing up, I started coming up with this character, and ever since then, her name's always been Callie. No change in the name. Her name's been Callie. She would stalk my thoughts. I'd be riding in the car and I'd have to say, okay, Erica, which is my daughter, I'm like, please just text this and send it to me. But I would see these like choreographed scenes in my head. It would start out like the motivation, the dilemma, the cliffhanger, and it would roll in story film format, and I'm like, okay, and it would not stop until I wrote it down. So I'd have a notebook by my bed, and my husband got to the point, Cyndi, turn off your flashlight, because I'd be like, there. And no joke, I would be. But after a while, when I got a lot of these images together, I'm looking at all these pieces and I'm like, what do I do with this? You know, it, it didn't make sense. And so finally, I started giving a little bit of personality to this image that I saw, because I knew that her parents were dead. I knew how her parents were died and I knew why, but I had to put something behind it, a story world that was authentic. And so I'm standing in the mill one day and I'm like looking around, I'm like, wow, what about having her work here? What about, bringing to life an actual real setting? What about having her live in the house that we've lived in? You know, why not? I could taste it, I could touch it, I could smell it, I could bring it to life. And so I brought it to life on these pages and stuff like this. Um, Callie is a rare, I think by the time you get to grow with her going through this story series, she comes off apprehensive, hesitant.
Mhm.
She doesn't own her identity. She doesn't want to own her identity because she's seen the misery that's been behind her. I mean, the opening scenes are just like my daughter said when she first started reading it, and other people were just like, okay, we couldn't get through the first two scenes because it was just like it just stops you. Not that it's gore, no, but it's emotional, you know?
Yeah.
So, boy, I forget, is there something else I should be telling you? I'm trying to think if I answered your question.
No, no. Well, that's how you created it. But like, what's the overall premise, plot?
Okay.
What's the world like?
Um, Okay, well, let's just say Secrets Beneath Scars is about Callie Tresham, her self-discovery journey. But she's not a typical teen. The story goes from an orphan girl learning about herself, the answers to her origins of her powers, and when she stumbles across a conspiracy
Ooh.
in another world.
Well, there's the intrigue.
And yes, 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 and the death threats that she gets because um, let's just say history repeats itself if you don't learn from it.